Swim check 1, 2. Bike check 1, 2. Run check 1, 2. I think we're ready. Let's try this. Welcome to the Try Beginner's Luck podcast, a podcast where we explore the sport of triathlon from a variety of perspectives to help beginner triathletes on their journey. I am your host, Mashonda Shines. Well, welcome back to another edition of Try Beginner's Luck. We are rocking and rolling and continuing our new season where we're focusing on rest and recovery and how that's such an integral part of everything that we do as athletes. Like, you cannot improve without rest and recovery. And anyone who says anything otherwise, they aren't being very truthful. So, as you know, I can get a little excited. So I'm trying to keep my composure about my next guest, because my next guest is an inspiration to all. He entered the tri scene in 2019 with wanting to do a sprint. And then from there, had a magnanimous year where from August 2019, doing the first sprint, all the way to November 2020, doing his first 140.6 miles in Florida, where he garnered national, international success, or in terms of just awareness. All right. This gentleman is the first and only person with Down syndrome in the world to complete an Ironman, run all 6 global marathon majors, win 2 ESPYs, become a global ambassador for Special Olympics. And yes, I did pull that from the website because it was too good not to repeat, okay? Because it's great. But August 2019, first sprint, January 2020, Olympic, May 2020, 70.3, and November 2020, an Ironman. Honestly, it's like 1-1-1-1. He did it from smallest, well, not smallest, but sprint all the way to the full Ironman distance. You probably know who I'm talking about because he encourages us to be 1% better. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so thrilled to welcome to this audience, Mr. You see him, Chris Nikic. Hi, Chris. How you doing? And Dad, Nikic. Hi, how y'all doing?
Oh, great.
Y'all were back there playing. Were you getting excited? What was happening? Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. You hyped them up.
I hyped you up, Chris. Peace. So let me tell you about Chris and I's relationship, which started in a very unlikely pace at Eagleman. I happened to need to use the porta potties, right? And who would have thought that relationships can be formed in the line? I had no idea. I met Chris for the first time, and not knowing, was like, hey, can we use the restroom? I was like, sure, because I'm all focused. And I looked up and was like, like starstruck. I was like, oh my gosh, hi. Fast forward a couple of months. I am at Age Group Nationals. Well, before that, I wrote an email to my network. I run a network, and I was encouraging them to be 1% better based off of Chris's his mantra and brand. And I had no idea that I would see Chris maybe 2 weeks later. And I said, oh my goodness. And I showed him the email. I said, this email I dedicated like to you, and was like, hey, if we can just be 1% better, we'll get growing. Because with networks, for those of you who are maybe not familiar with networks, like networks are like living organisms of people, but you work together so that you can solve problems, but not in necessarily a strategic organizational way. Anyway, it's complicated, but it's so effective. And when I saw Chris, I was like, oh my gosh. And we just had this big embrace. And then he ran Age Group Nationals and qualified there. Like, you just keep breaking barriers. But okay, I'm tired of talking, and I know people are tired of listening to me talk. So Chris, it's all about you. Hi.
Huh.
What's up? You got your hat to the side? Yeah. Okay. If I've made you nervous, I'm sorry. because I see that you're blushing and I apologize, but I just really wanted to give you all of your like verbal roses because you are such an inspiration. And I love the relationship you and your dad have.
Thanks.
You get out of here.
So let's just talk about it, right? You're not shy at all. I know you're not because you get up and talk in front of audiences all the time. Tell me why triathlon in 2019?
You know why? Because I wanted to make spoken hot blog.
He
Have
wanted
my
to,
own place,
he said he wanted to
Come
marry
on,
a smoking
car.
hot blonde, buy his own house. What else?
in the car.
And buy your own car. That's why you did it all?
Yeah.
All for a smoking hot blonde.
Nice.
And people
Blog.
have a cute butt.
Stop it with the cute
But
butt.
it's true.
It's a proven fact that triathlons get you a cute butt. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You might not be lying there because, well, if I think about how my derriere has definitely rounded out a little bit more and definitely sits up in a different way, I think you might be onto something.
It helps, doesn't it, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So we started for a blog and a car. Did you get the car?
Yeah.
And you definitely got blogs and you got more than that because you are inspiring people every day to be 1% better.
Oh
How does
no.
that feel?
It's okay.
It's just okay.
Yeah.
Like, did you know when you were first setting out to do this that you crossing all these finish lines would have this effect on the world?
I mean, it doesn't like affect, but like it's impacting everyone.
It is impacting, but we didn't know it was going to do that, did we? We just did it for fun.
And I didn't know at first, but like I did it for fun.
Yeah, just
I
for
just
Yeah.
fun.
want to be outside.
I
Yeah.
love it. So my question now is, you've changed the game for so many. Like Caleb's crew is like so many people get to try because of you taking the first step and really opening this sport up in a way that hadn't been done previously. And I know you guys have parties all the time because I see the pictures on social media. What is it like to bring your friends along this journey with you?
It makes me think that like what if they actually become of who they
Mm,
are they doing
yeah.
it? And it's like helping them because like every time I win or something, they always have problem with my dad.
What was the problem with your dad?
The athletes,
They don't.
they
They
do.
just want to kick your butt.
So they always have a problem with my dad.
No, it's not me.
And then and then my and then they always say the same exact question and they say, what's his son beating us?
Why is your son beating us? Because he trains
And
harder.
then and then you know what my dad says?
What does he say?
He says, you know why?
Because of the 1% better.
Fuck off.
Back off.
I love it.
Be serious, will you?
It's years.
He worked out hard today and he was supposed to take a nap and I just interrupted his nap. So he's waking up as we go. Aren't you?
Maybe.
Maybe. You better wake up.
And maybe after this, I'm gonna go back to bed.
You might go back to bed.
Yeah.
Damn. You know what? I'm so sorry that we're interrupting your nap because you know what? Naps are recovery. And
Yeah,
we
he
just
did a strength workout today and he wiped himself out. Then he did a swim workout and he's just taking a nap.
wow. And you don't like to be you don't like your naps to be interrupted, huh?
No.
No.
Who does? Who does? Because that's how you get stronger. We just talked about that in the opening about rest and recovery. Well, let's transition since you were sleeping. Is sleep and recovery or rest and recovery a big part of your success?
Yes.
And what are some of the things that you like to do? We know you like to sleep, but what are some other things that you like to do?
like I do not sleep.
Hmm.
Catching up on videos. Um, and then I usually go back to the gym and just like do whatever,
Cool.
like recovery, stretching,
Yeah.
basketball.
Stretching, basketball. What kind of recovery do you do? Tell her about
Like
that.
I do full time
Cold tub. Mhm.
Oh,
and uh,
And hot tub at the same time. Do you do anything else? Do
basketball.
you do sauna?
Yeah.
Sauna and basketball. You love basketball.
okay. Got like
And
a little jump shot
maybe
going?
like I can do that while my dad stays home.
Yeah, I'll stay home. I got work to do.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Uh,
I got work to do. You can go have fun.
and in Columbus, I'm running.
Columbus, yeah. He's going to Columbus Wednesday to do a speech.
So I have a speech and I have a swim and a run workouts while I'm there.
Yeah.
Whoa,
So
whoa.
I might just do that instead of today because I'm exhausted.
You are exhausted, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You work
I
hard.
was just about to say, Chris, you got to go speak and then you have to do
A
workouts on
workout.
top of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's putting these workouts on your schedule when you got to speak?
This guy.
Dad, come on now.
He asked me. His dad put the workouts on my schedule so I can do them.
But then, just like us, we're just like, we didn't really think we could do all that. Like, we're traveling, you're tired. Oh my gosh, so much to do.
Mom, you please come in here.
No, don't get mom involved.
Okay, first of all, she's an African.
She's an advocate, but don't get her involved.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
He needs to be out there in public.
All right. She has other questions, so let's see what else she wants to know.
Okay?
Yes, yes. So, what do you love about triathlon?
Community.
Community, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
way to give back by making sure that as you beat all those athletes and they don't understand why I've done so, or they don't understand why uh, Down syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
like they don't understand what Down syndrome is. So
Yeah.
my dad also taught me that Down syndrome is motivation. And every time I beat others athletes, and when they meet me at the finish line, you know what they say to my dad?
What?
They say, how did your son do that?
Mm.
And my dad's like, wait a minute. You think I got a problem with my son? Okay, first of all,
Stop it. No
he's
one's
my
gonna
baby.
problem.
And by the way, he hates to lose.
Yes, he doesn't like to lose.
Yeah.
That is why I'm set up. That's why I am set him up for life so he can win all the time.
Yeah.
I teach you to win all the time.
See,
Yeah.
he's
And
my old man.
it's that mentality. You have a winner's mentality. And what I want to like kind of go back to, because you're right, a lot of people don't know and don't understand about Down syndrome. And so, what I like to do is just bring awareness to it. So, Dad, can you share a little bit with this audience about what Down syndrome is? And it doesn't mean that there's no ability. It just means people learn differently. And so, can you explain that a little bit to this audience, if you will?
Sure.
Yeah, so with Down syndrome, they have the extra chromosome,
Mhm.
right? And the body and the mind are designed to work very efficiently with two copies of every chromosome, right? Two copies. And when you add a third, it's kind of like going on a highway, everybody's moving 65 miles an hour in a two-lane highway, right? Then all of a sudden, someone adds something in the second lane and you can't go in that second lane anymore. So now think about what happens to the traffic.
Mm.
It slows down almost to a grinding halt. So Chris moves at the speed of cars trying to move through a 2-lane highway, but it's now only 1 lane. So he has to deal with those challenges every single day, physically and cognitively. So a couple of examples: decision making. If you and I are on a bike and something happens in front of us, we can react pretty quickly and respond to that and navigate around it. Chris is almost like on a tape delay, right? Where, things almost happen a second or two slower than everybody else. And so that reaction time is really critical, right? So we have to teach him how to overcome that, because, bike riding can be very dangerous if you can't react fast enough, right? Well, he's been, so to your point, he's able to learn. It just took him a lot longer to learn. It took him 6 months to learn just how to balance on a bike. Then it took him another year to learn how to actually ride a bike. Then he was crashing a lot for the first year, year and a half, 2 years. And then eventually he figured it out, and he hasn't crashed in 4 years, and he's ridden thousands of miles. That's an example, right? And then so decision making, right? And the ability to process and respond to things, but also physically, poor balance, low muscle tone. When Chris goes for a workout, you and I can go for a workout and get a certain amount of reaction from that workout in terms of developing our muscles. Well, Chris has to do 5 workouts for every 1 workout we do to get the same result. So he's got to put in 5 times as much effort to develop the physiological ability, muscles in the lungs, the heart, the legs, the arms. And so that's why no one with Down syndrome has ever done an Ironman, because when you think about all of the work required just to get the basics down, then to build on them, then to build the muscle and brain power to be able to navigate. And the fact that Chris went from a sprint to an Ironman in less than a year is a miracle in itself. And the fact 4 years since Chris has done the Ironman, no one else has even come close. So that tells you just how huge the obstacles are for someone with Down syndrome. So whatever obstacles you all think you have, multiply that by 5 or 10, and that's what Chris has to deal with every day. But to your point, those are just obstacles. They're not complete barriers to success. They're just obstacles that we need to figure out how to overcome. And over the last 4 or 5 years, Chris has learned how to overcome all of them, to the point, as you said, where in the last 4 years, he's done 3 Ironmans, 6 half Ironmans, and 18 marathons. That's a lot of long distance endurance stuff for someone who's not supposed to do any of that.
Wow. And not
And
to mention,
also, I need your eyes to know that I'm looking for a smoking hot blonde.
Yeah, you got to get that message across. He's looking for a smoking hot blonde.
whoa. Here's where the drama comes. I thought you had a friend.
Well, that's
We
changed.
broke off.
They broke off, so now it's time for a new one.
Perez. Oh, well, I guess you're not that sad about it, but I'm devastated because I was like, they're so cute.
And back to basics. Single, adorable, and available.
Single, adorable, and available. There you go. Let's get the word out there.
Get the word out,
baby.
A on the A team. Single, available, and I can't. That's too much. I was not prepared for that, because I was going to ask you, like, how is your girlfriend? But clearly, oh boy, I tell you. All right, so let's talk about running. Do you love running the best out of all 3 of the sports?
Yeah,
you do.
It makes my butt cute.
That's because it makes your butt cute?
Yeah.
Oh, but you don't really like running.
Well, you
do, okay.
So 6 majors. You've done all 6 majors.
I know.
Twice.
Whoa. So how is it? Like, we just learned that you have to do 5 times the amount of work that a normal athlete that doesn't have Down syndrome has to do. So what does workouts look like for you? And how do you build this volume to keep going and going and going?
So it's like, it's hustling and grinding. But like, it's mainly 3-6 hours.
3 to 6
4 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like every day. and busted my balls off.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Well, that just means Chris is very comfortable with me. But Chris, you know, this is a PG-ish podcast, okay?
Yeah, PG is.
You know, we like to keep it PG in these streets.
Oh no.
4 to 6 hours in the gym.
3 to 6 hours a day, every day, consistently, because with all his obstacles, there's no way he's going to finish. And, you know, he barely finishes these things. He finishes marathons in 6 hours. You know, sometimes when he's not feeling well, 7, sometimes 5, 5 something. He finishes Ironmans in like 16 and a half hours. So he takes up almost all the time. So he works this hard. And most people who work this hard will do Ironmans in 8 hours or 9 or 10. But Chris uses the whole 16 and a half hours. So even with all the hard work, he just barely makes it under the cutoff times.
Wow. I am impressed. And I think, you know, being able to share the disparities in terms of how much harder like you have to work, it just makes it like even more impressive what you do. Because who can work out and be able to sustain it? And it's just showing you how you overcome literally daily. Is that where the 1% better comes from and how you kind of came up with that? Can you share about how that was developed a little bit?
Sure, I'll talk about
He
that.
did not come in.
Yes,
I come up with a plan.
You stop it. You know.
I come up with a plan first.
You take all the credit for everything, but it's
So
my.
I came up
with the 1%.
So I came the plan, and then I took over the whole time plan, and then he was the one that decides all these workouts, and I execute every day.
You do execute. So you
Yeah.
listen, you get the credit for executing, and you get the credit for being the best in the world at executing the 1%.
Yeah.
All right, but I get the credit for designing it. So can I tell her about it?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
So imagine how hard it is mentally to do what we're talking about, right? Where he has to work 5 times as hard as everybody else just to get across the finish line in time. So the 1% is designed to combat all of the negative stuff that our kids with Down syndrome and autism hear all the time. Their entire lives, everyone from the doctors to the teachers to the parents to the community tell them what they can't do. They put limits on them. And so we as human beings are very susceptible to what people say to us. And we start to believe what they say to us, and then we become a victim of the environment around us, right? And that environment is a negative one that continually tells them what they can't do. The 1% is designed for Chris to overcome that negative mindset by proving to himself on a daily basis that he can succeed. So a 1% improvement, say going from running 100 yards to 101 or 102, 103 yards, is success. Success then gets put into the brain as a positive reinforcement that he is successful. And then the next time it piles on and builds on and builds on and builds on. So imagine 4 or 5 years of every day getting 1% better, what it does to the human mind. It builds you in tremendous grit, tremendous mental strength. And so Chris has, I just shared with you, he's done 3 Ironman, 6.5, and 16 or 18 marathons. Chris has finished 100% of them. So Chris never quits because of that mental strength that he has, that he's developed through the 1% system. So when people say, what's the 1%? It really is a way to build mental strength so you don't quit. Imagine what life would be like for every human being if they just never quit, right? Imagine what marriages would be like, what friendships would be like, what jobs would be like, what school would be like. Imagine any area that we take on in life. If we just don't quit, we end up winning at different degrees based on our God-given abilities, but we all end up winning. So Chris is a winner every day because he never compares himself to other people. So when he talks about I win, I win, I win, he doesn't mean literally compared to other people, because he's always like at the Roth Challenge Ironman, he literally finished last and then they shut the lights out. So, but he won because Chris doesn't compare himself to other people. Chris compares Chris today to Chris yesterday. And as long as Chris does a little better today than yesterday, Chris is winning. And so using that formula of 1% better, Chris wins every single day.
And using the high lady directs into my life, oh, you need to give her prep.
Get a prep. And your mind right back on the hot lady.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Well, Chris, I mean, and your mind should be there, right? You're a young guy, so that's kind of normal. But we're here to talk about like sports and triathlon and, the things that get the hot lady, right? That's the things that get the hot lady, seeing you compete and you win day after day. And so I love how it's one of one, like you are one of one when you're out there, and that allows you to be like that 1% better. And I'm glad that you explained it that way, because so many times there's this the comparison trap where, people compare themselves to others, and comparison is the thief of joy. It's the thief of so much. And when you are comparing yourself to you only can compare to you. And it's a way to get better and be like, okay, how do I improve today? How do I improve today? And so I really appreciate that. Taking it from, you started the sport when you were 21 years old. You're now 25. What has been some of your what has been, and you can have more than one, lessons that you've learned that you would like to share with others?
And I've learned about when, as a new kid, I could be able to come on shoe.
Mm.
I also learned how to say to my dad, can you tie my shoe?
Oh, get out of here with the tie your shoes. You get
And
serious.
you know what my dad does?
What?
He ties it.
Oh, yeah, I do all the time. You can't tie your own shoes, but you can do an Ironman in a marathon.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can tie shoes, but I can't do an Ironman in a marathon. So there we go. I'd rather have your skills than mine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so Dad, you were saying how when Chris was learning how to, and Chris, you can answer as well. When you were learning how to ride your bike, you crashed a lot. And when you are actually in these races, you are riding unassisted.
Yep.
Does that ever scare you when you're riding by yourself, even though you have your guide with you? Does that ever scare you a little bit?
No.
No, you don't get scared at all, do you? No.
So what are you thinking about when you're out there riding and, say, for instance, riding for 112 miles?
I'll take it for the girls.
The girls. Yeah.
Well, whatever gets you to the finish line.
Why do you ask questions like that?
Yeah.
He's thinking.
So sorry.
If a high woman is a favor, then I'm your favor.
That's what you're thinking. I know. She needs to ask her questions differently.
I do, Dad. Try beginner's luck gone wild. I am so sorry. I will reframe that.
Out there.
Okay, let's ask it like this. What is one thing that you are grateful for with your upcoming marathon with New York?
Fun, crazy people, crazy booming bridges.
The bridges.
Going like into crazy booming tunnels.
Okay.
The drummers. I have the drummers.
The drummers.
And then the cheerleaders. And every stoplight, every corner of a New York marathon. You know what I see with my own eyes?
What? Is it clean? Hold on. Is it clean?
Hot women.
Yeah. I see them through my eyes.
It doesn't matter how you ask the question.
It
The answer
doesn't
goes
matter
to the same
if you
place.
ask the same question. I'm going to still tell you this. They're out there.
They're out there. And guess what? Chris is for the taking. So if you're listening to this, please know that Chris is single. He is available. And what was the other A?
Adorable.
Adorable. Maybe that's what we should name this title: Single, Adorable, and Available.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's sexy.
It's sexy.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe sexy as a brand.
Oh, baby.
I love it. I love it. Well, at least that's getting you excited and it's waking you up a little bit. So let's move it this way. Tell us about this podcast is about your first time. So take us back to 2019 when you finished your first sprint triathlon in August of 2019. Tell us about the swim, then tell us about the bike, and then the run.
So right after the swim, I came home one day and I nearly wrote down the dreams that I wanted, and then I wrote everything down that I wanted. I wanted hop on my house, my car, motivation speaking, creating my own unique way of business, and then around porn, I heard this crazy commotion of like why Ironman. And my dad nearly showed up at home with me, and both of my mom and my sister went off on him, saying, why in the world are you thinking Ironman? You're crazy.
Your mom and your sister both said that to me?
Yeah, so they both said, Nick, you're crazy.
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
And he said, and they said, why are you thinking this? And I'm like, and I got into the middle of it. And I said, Ma, and she said, don't mommy, why are you doing this? I'm like, you know why? And I'm like, is this why I don't come home at night and I hear this commotion of awkward and big all the time?
Well, honey, your mom
I can't have this stuck in this house.
your mom and your sister wanted to protect you. They thought I was crazy.
Yeah, well, I don't need that.
I know you don't need that, but they thought you did.
And then I said, and I need Nick to my dad. And he said, you really want to do this? And yeah. And I said, when can I start? And it's like, start tomorrow. At 4 a.m.
And there we go. And then we started.
And then my mom was like, why 4 a.m.? And I'm like, Mom, if you have any questions about my dad, you come to me. That's for him. But I see them, please back off.
And you did it. You did your Ironman. So proud of you.
So 4 a.m. wake up calls. You get started. Dad, and if I remember correctly,
I said, Daddy.
Daddy, yeah.
Okay, Daddy.
I'm his firstborn son.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Dad, did you do triathlons?
No.
Never.
No.
He's an old man.
No.
He's an old man.
Of course you.
You can't
I
out here.
didn't go out there. Like, I want you to tell your audience that this old man
No, stop. She's asking
with
questions.
an old man hat.
She's asking
I love it.
Asking questions.
So, Nick, you're not only doing this and breaking barriers for yourself, the world, but your family. You're doing things that people in your family haven't even done before. And that's admirable. And when you're not training, how do you spend your time?
Me or Chris?
Me.
Oh, Yes, Chris.
Yes, I do videos.
So
Videos
video games
I eat chicken strips.
and eat chicken strips.
and eat chicken strips. Is chicken strips your favorite
I
food?
talk to people.
Yeah. He loves
Okay.
talking to people, watching his videos, hanging out, taking a nap. But he's mostly working out and hanging out with friends.
And hanging out with friends. Okay.
He doesn't have a lot of downtime. He likes his downtime for a little bit, but then he wants to get right back to it.
I love it. So after New York Marathon, do you take time off during the winter? Well, you're in Florida, so
Yeah,
you don't have
yeah.
time off, but you take some time off before getting started again?
Yep, we'll take a week off.
So after the New
You're gonna take a
York
whole week off or
Marathon,
just 3 or 4 days?
Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead, finish.
So right after the New York Marathon, I'm going to take the whole entire week off.
The whole week?
Yeah,
Okay.
partying, crazy partying, more hot women from New York, women you're popping everywhere, and then be like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And like, first of all, I did a podcast with someone, and she is spreading the message and say, if you're smoking hot bar, if you're available,
All right.
single, and adorable,
Back on track.
I am those things to you.
Hey, back on track.
Okay.
All right, so after your
Yeah,
marathon, after you're done with your marathon, you take a week off to relax. What are you gonna start training for after that?
Ultraman.
Ultraman?
Now, Ultraman, tell me more about Ultraman race. What does that consist of?
120 miles.
320-mile race.
Come again now? How many miles is that again?
I want to explain to her what an Ultraman is.
It's a 3-day event.
Uh-huh.
This is like you
You swim 10K,
so you do a swim and a bike,
10K swim, 70-mile bike,
and then another day you bike,
170 miles next day.
and then the next day you do 2 double marathons.
2 marathons.
If you ever want to do that,
Yeah. You want her to do that with you?
then you gotta like show up.
You know what? I'm not showing up for that. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I'm giving you a choice.
She's not showing up for that one, buddy.
I don't care.
One Ironman is enough.
Yes.
I want you there.
You want me there?
Yeah.
What's the date of it?
October.
Oh, October of 2025?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that can happen. Now, what city?
Hawaii.
Oh, that could be a nice little. I've never been to Hawaii.
But you gotta go.
That sounds like I'll need to be there in October of
I'm
2025.
actually giving you a choice.
What's the
I'm giving you a choice.
choice?
2 choices. One, you can stay home, or you can go.
That's 2 choices.
You know what I think you that? I say you choose both.
That's
You
it.
You choose one.
You choose one.
And the choose one is Hawaii. Go on.
Hawaii, yes. Now in Hawaii, wow. So that's like doing 2 Ironman.
Yeah.
Well, plus another 40 miles.
Wow. That is incredible. I don't even want to begin to ask what your workout routine is for that.
Yeah, it's like 2 Ironmans plus a little more than an Olympic.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I am excited to cheer you on for that Sherpa. Maybe I can come and be your Sherpa.
Yeah, we'll need some of those.
Instead of a Sherpa, you train.
No, she's not going to train.
Yes, you will.
This is for like next level.
You know
Of
what?
course you.
Chris said he's going to coach me and train. Okay, you said it on the podcast now, Chris. We got to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's another level of crazy, isn't it, Chris?
Oh.
You know,
Ooh.
Are you
that's a level of crazy very few people go to.
ready for the challenge?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a challenge, Chris. I don't even know what to say. I mean, you can't challenge the challenger.
You say nothing. All you guys need to show up. I'll train you.
Show up.
Show up. Okay. Ladies
Show
and
up.
gentlemen, you hear it here, right here. Chris is
Show
telling you
up.
to show up. So guess what?
Show
I feel like I'm
up.
telling you, show up. Show
Show
up,
up.
people.
And
That's
bring
it.
your club of women.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Fucking hot.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, Chris, this has
Yeah.
been Chris is challenging me to an ultra, and I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. But I'm excited and encouraged that you're doing this because that's taking the game to another level for you and letting people know what is possible. We don't let people leave the podcast without asking them some rapid fire questions. So these questions are quick, they're easy, and I don't know what to say. Like doing an ultra distance, which is 2 full iron distances plus an Olympic, is really bananas. But if anybody can do it, it is the person who knows how to try and do it 1% better every single day. And that's you, Chris. And I love it. With that said, who's your favorite artist?
Drake.
Brick?
Drake. Drake.
Drake. Oh, okay. Okay, Drake.
And Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift. Okay.
Drake and
So
Taylor.
So Drake.
So the first one is Taylor Swift.
Okay, so Taylor Swift, then Drake.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite song?
Her love story.
I know. Which one's, how about from Drake? What's your favorite one? You forgot?
No.
Okay, you're sleeping.
Money in the Bottle.
Money in the Bottle?
Money in the Bottle?
Or like Money in a Box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you shoot a basket. It's like Money in a Basket.
Money in the Basket. Okay. T1 or T2? Which do you prefer?
Team 6.
T1 or T2? Transition 1 or transition 2?
Oh, transition Team 6.
Meaning you're done with the race?
Yeah. Team 6.
See, I love it. You make up your own answers because this is.
Oh, no.
I love it. Where's your favorite place to bike?
Favorite place to bike?
Huh?
Favorite place to bike?
Home.
Okay, so home is in Central Florida?
For a while, my dad's working every day. I use the smart trainer.
He likes his smart trainer best.
Oh,
I
okay.
use smart trainer and Vasa.
Okay.
Or I do the techno gym trainer in a Vasa.
Okay. Do you like?
I have like 3 techno gym stuff.
Techno gym.
Treadmill. Personal trainer.
Okay.
And a Vasa.
Vasa is not Techno Gym.
Yeah,
it's a different company. Vasa is a wonderful company. They make the Vasa machines.
Oh, is that the one with the mirror?
Yeah, the one where you lay down and you swim.
Okay. Oh.
Land-based swimming.
Okay. Okay.
It's also called Techno Gear.
Techno Gear. Okay. Let me ask this question. Do you like gels for nutrition or real food when you're training for your full distances or racing?
Gel food.
So basically, I just do gels.
Gels? Okay.
Like when it comes with after racing, I got crazy food.
Ooh, so tell us what's your favorite food after you race?
Chipotle.
Chipotle?
I got Chipotle.
Okay.
And then I do PFK.
Ah, okay. That's a good place to go. I like PF Chang's too.
My dad actually took a picture of me having my PFK meal. So basically, I get a shot of lemonade, and then I get uh, a little bit of chicken and rice on the container, but then I wanted an extra order of rice.
Because you got a carb load.
I need extra order of rice plus one in the container. And then one night my parents goes out and I eat a whole entire meal plus the great hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And it's like a giant cake. This big. And it ate a whole entire thing.
Wow. They like
Yeah.
cake. The cake must have been good.
It's all by myself, nobody else in my house.
All by yourself, you eating okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Extra rice and cake.
And cake. You know, cake is
Yeah. It's women.
it's all for the carb load. And we don't let people leave this show without asking them this question. Do you pee on the bike or get off and take a proper pee break?
Well, I do the trainer for like a few minutes. But when it comes to like a bathroom break,
Oh, during a race, Chris. So during a race,
Race. Do you take a break and
do you
go
take
pee?
a break or you pee on the bike?
I pee and then poop.
No, you don't. Stop. Stop it. You better not. No, I won't let you do another race. You get out of here.
Oh man,
She's gonna cut that out.
see, he's an old man, and do not cut it out.
Well, a
Because
lot of
all
us
of-
definitely say we pee on the bike. So we definitely pee on the bike. And it's just a fun question because it's true. You know, sometimes when you're in the races, it's hard to just stop because you're trying to keep going. And for some of us, like myself, just, you know, making the cutoffs and et cetera. So we love it. So thank you so much, Chris. And do you have any final words for anybody who's wanting to start their triathlon journey?
Please look for a woman.
Well, what if the crowd
That
is
is my funny message. Look for a woman.
now? How do you? Well, that is Chris's advice for those who. Well, that said, look, I don't even know how to close it. So we know where Chris's mind is. And as we can see, he is looking again. He is single, adorable, and available. And here at Try
Yeah.
Beginner's Luck, we have this saying that whenever you try Beginner's Luck, you always win because you do. And we heard it here today. Keep going. Don't stop. Believe in yourself. And it's you versus you. That's it at the end of the day. Well, my name is Mashonda Miles, and I have had the pleasure of being joined by Nick and Chris Nikic. And we are going to be out. Peace. Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this episode. We need your help so we can continue to try at TBL. So for more information on where you can find and subscribe to this podcast, visit www.trybeginnersluck.com. And don't forget, whenever you try Beginner's Luck, you always win.